Well, g'day everyone and welcome to Diamond Art with Del. Today I have a little bit different video for you guys. I thought about making something with my leftover drills, and I'm sure a lot of you have got leftover drills and you're wondering what you could do with them. So I've been thinking about some of the ideas I can use for my leftover drills, so I thought I might share some of those projects with you guys. So I've got quite a few in mind, so I thought I'd just start at one and see how I go, and hopefully it comes up how I imagine it in my brain. That's basically it. So I've come up with this idea. It is decorating a mirror. So I bought this is a very nice simple round mirror. It's 25 centimeters in diameter, so it's not a big mirror, but it's not a small mirror. You just made out of plyboard, etc. It's the Anko brand. It's from Kmart. It's $5. So this is my base I'm going to use, and my idea is to decorate all this wooden part here. And I'm going to show you how I go about it. I have no idea how I'm going to go about it. It's just going to sort of happen as I'm filming, and hopefully, fingers crossed, my idea works and I'll be sharing this video. Yay! So basically, some of the things you need, of course you'll need leftover drills. These are just a few of the ones I have chosen that I want to use in my color scheme that I've got in mind for my project. I've got assorted brushes because I'm going to be using some paints you can see in the background there. Those are the colors I've chosen to use. Now these ones I also bought just at my local Kmart. They're just basic artist acrylic paint. They are $2 each, so not expensive, but you might have some of these sort of things hanging around in your craft drawers, etc. too, if you do other crafts. So they're basically just crafting paint. They're nothing exciting. They're just basic acrylics, and I'm using the white, yellow and the red for my particular design. I'm going to paint the wood. I've got my drills picked out, some of the ones I like. I keep them in this little container, which is also from Kmart. I buy everything from Kmart, you'll think to yourself. And you know what, you are probably right. And it's basically, the unit comes as itself, all these little clip containers, and I can just put my leftover bags in there. And basically the red ones, they put red beads, and that's about as far as sorted it is. You know, this is sort of a goldy colour, so I'll put my winey gold colours in there, and orange ones, and orange, green, the green, blue and the blue. That kind of thing. So I've got a bit of an idea of what I'm looking for in my leftover stash. So I can't remember offhand. I'll add the price of that unit as well if I can remember, but I think it was about $10. So I will need, that is my leftover drills, my mirror, my paint brushes. And these are just assorted sizes. I decided to just grab all sorts of different ones out of my paint box. But you only don't need this many. You just need one or two. You know, something for a bit more finer detail, maybe something a bit broader to cover the area you want to paint, depending what you're doing. I'm probably using more of the finer stuff because it's only a small area. But as I said, I just grabbed a handful out of the drawer or box thing I've got for paints. So some paint brushes is also required to do this project, and of course I'll need a drill pen. I just got a single placer. You can use whatever you like. This one I got from Spell Queen, and some tray to put my drills in. And I am going to use this product called Tack It Over and Over. It's Ellen's original, and I'm going to use that product. As you can see, I have never used it, so it will be a bit of a test on how this product works as well. And I'm going to use this to adhere my drills to my mirror in where I want them. And I'm not even 100% sure where I want them yet. It's a bit of an idea in my head. Hopefully it all works. So the first stage of this, of course, we will be taking everything out of the packaging, and then I'm going to cover this mirror with just some baking paper or something, or any sort of paper, and just put some washi tape, I think, right up around those edges, just so I can get the nice clean edge, and then I'll start painting and we'll go from there. And I'll let you know how it all goes and follows through. So I think I've covered the things I need. The mats underneath are, these are just cutting mats. I also bought that one from Cheapest Chips for $5, but I bought the big one from Kmart for $6. So they're very useful tools, because they've got lots of angles and things like that for me, because what I want to do. So I'm just going to use that as a bit of a helper with the design that I chose. I introduced you to all the components to this project. Watch me work up a project using leftover drills. That's what it's going to be. Yeah. Okay, let's get cracking. Okay, so for the first stage, I have a couple of additional things you would need. Some sort of tape. I'm just going to use this washi tape, some scissors and a grey lead to cut this out, and a little piece of paper or some sort of covering. I'm just using a bit of baking paper because that's easy and at hand, but you can use anything at all for this because it's just to cover that mirror area. So we're going to do that first. Firstly, what I'll do is I'll do a quick measurement with the grey lead, just using the circle of the mirror shape, and just going to put a slight tracing around of basically that shape. This reminds me of like when you're baking and you're just doing that bottom of your tray. So it's the same sort of thing. You're just lining bottom of your tray, or in this case we're covering the circle area of the mirror. So I've got my rough outline, and I'm just going to cut just so I've got a little bit of overlay, and I can wrap that around the edge of the mirror with some tape. Okay. So now I've got my circle cut. It should fit hopefully around there fairly well. As I said, it doesn't need to be really neat because I'm only using it as a protective cover. Now to take the mirror out of its packaging, and see me, I've got the scissors here. I will use those to help me just snip this plastic protective cover. On the back I have this little handy dandy hanger, so I'll be able to hang my mirror when it's finished, and I'll probably end up decorating the back as well. Now I'm going to just place that over the mirror as such, because it's nice, and it's a really nice mirror. It's got nice shine and it looks really nice. So I don't want to scratch it, I don't want paint on it. So I'm just going to pop that cover straight on there like so, and just using some tape and making sure I don't cover any of the board. I'm going to just go around the edges. So here we have the mirror is now covered. I'm just making sure all these edges are down. So I put the washi tape up along that edge, trying to not cover any of the plyboard in that process, so that I can have a nice clean edge and don't have to worry about paint going where I don't want it to, and that way I don't have too much of a clean up. And the mirror is all nice and covered now, so that if I do have any splashes or whatever, I'm not going to get that on there. And again, I'm protecting my mirror from getting scratched or damaged or any of those things until I am completed my project. So the washi tape has managed to go on there reasonably well, and of course I know I want to use the washi tape because I believe it will come off better than, say, normal sticky tape, but that's not to say you couldn't do the same process with that. Alright, next part is doing the sketching for the design. So I've got to keep in mind where I'm going to be hanging this from, so I keep that point of interest. So the next part I will do is sketch my lines. So now I've completed the painting, it's time to select out my drills, and I'm using the ones from my stash. I have chosen some colours as the same as my painted design, and I'm arranging them in a way that I like. You can choose any pattern you like to do. It's really up to you to get creative at this stage. You can choose whatever you want to do, as I said, and I've just chosen some very simple little patterns and designs and some of the shapes and colours that look really nice together to give it a little bit of a different feel and texture. I really like these large crystallized drills, and I'm going to use them the most in my design. I really like these sort of facet round ones, and I'm going to use them on my white line area. And I'm sort of laid them out in a circle pattern just so I can see what it's like. I'm now going to just, with a pencil, just mark out where I roughly want to put my drills so I know where to put my glue. I'm using dots for circles and a little bit of a dash where I want longer patterned ones, just to get a bit of an idea of where I'd like them all to sit. That way it would be easier when I apply this glue. Now this glue is called Allen's Tack It Over and Over. I have not used this product before. It is brand new to me. It has a little nozzle which is going to help me apply the glue where I want it, and it dries clear and has a bit of a tacky feel to it when it starts to dry, apparently. So that'll make it easier for me to adjust the drills and make sure they're in the right spot for where I want them exactly. So that should give me a little bit of play. I think this would be also a great product if you need to repair any canvases that have got either oily or low areas of glue, and you could apply some of this with a brush and just make sure you got a nice even coat, and you could also do that as well with this product. So the next step to this is to apply the glue, and I'm going to use the nozzle provided with the actual glue and apply that directly to the areas I want to put my drills. So along the lines, so I can put those round drills, and I'm going to just put a very small dot on each of the little pencil marks around the rest of the patterns. So then I can take a paintbrush and I'll just smooth these out so that it's a nice sort of even cover in just small sections, just enough so that I can place the drills directly on top of that area. So I don't want the glue to be too bumpy or have raised areas, etc. I want it to be fairly smooth and not leave bumps and lumps when it dries. So I'm just moving that out with a brush just to make sure that the drills sit nice and flat, and I'll just let this dry to a sort of a clear stage, and then I'll apply the drills on top of that. The good thing is it does go on opaque so that I can actually see where I'm applying, and I know that I've covered all the areas that I wish to cover. Now for the really exciting bit, we get to use our leftover drills, and I get to play with these awesome little facet rounds. So this part is just like if you were drilling on your canvas. I've chosen to use tweezers at this stage because I think it might be easier for me to just grab these large ones, but you can just use a drill pen to pick them up just as you would any other special drill project. And I'm just applying them nice and neatly, best I can, to the glued area. So these round ones are going along my white painted lines, and I've got glue there. It's starting to dry clear, as you can see. So I'm going to continue on with my pattern and we'll have a nice end result. I'm going to keep working this one up just as you would a normal painting, a special drill painting or something like that, using either tweezers or you can use your drill pen and tray. And I'm just going to apply the drills just as I had them set out next to me there, or you can sketch these, you could take a photo. It was one of the ways I did it too, is I did lay these out to see what design I liked on my actual on the mirror. And therefore I took a picture with my iPad and I used that as a guide also. Just go back on how I actually wanted the drills to look like. So I'll just continue this and we'll have a look at it all drilled up. Well, here it is, all complete and looking rather lovely and shiny. I still got this protection on the mirror itself because I find that a little bit overlay of the glue here and there, not too bad. I've decided to use these rather large gems, but you can use any sort you choose. And as you can see, when I get the light the right way, you can see my little overlay of glue, so it's a little bit tacky. Maybe I should have used a finer brush. That might help me keep more control of my glue, but you only have to put it where you want to adhere your gems. To sort of, well, fix that problem of being a little bit tacky, because I'm a bit worried that it's going to collect dirt, dust, etc. But when hanging up on the wall, I will give it a bit of a spray just with this one, glossy spray clear. It's finishing sealer. So that's free for every sort of thing. Basically, it says drawing, photographs, you know, decals, paper, towel, etc. So it pretty much covers any kind of craft, so I don't think it's going to hurt. And I've used it on my diamond painting, so I know it doesn't affect the shine of the drills. So that is what I'm going to give it a spray of. If it's still a bit tacky and not doing, which it should, I've never had a problem with that sealer, so and not doing what I want it to do, or it's another option you could use yourself, you probably have some around the house, is some clear wood varnish. So that's another thing you could probably seal. This being a actual craft wood, you could probably just paint in between there, although you probably get a brushed effect. You know, that's the sort of payoff there. So, you know, you've got a couple of ways of maybe sealing that tackiness, but other than that, I'm very happy with the end result. It's kind of cool and groovy, and yeah, you can do whatever design you like. This is just something I chose, and you can use this if you like. This sort of as a bit of a template, and you can just change the colors, or maybe you can just do a whole different background design. You can do swirls, you can do anything you like. And then I just sat my drills on there. I didn't really show that part, but I sort of sat them on there how I liked them and just put them aside, and just take a photograph if you like, or on your phone what you wanted to your end result to be. So that's that. And that's a couple of other ideas I found working on it that I found helpful, was to sort of just try and see what fits on my piece, what drills I had, and how many I'd need, those sort of things. So I just laid them on and around the template, and then decided to take them all off and take that photo, and that's how I sort of knew where to put things. So hopefully I've covered everything there. If there is any other questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll answer the best of my abilities. And yes, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this idea of this craft. The only other thing was, I was considering putting the line of small drills around the edge of colours, those ABs, but I basically decided not to use them. I just liked the look, how it was. I just felt it was more open. It was just something of personal preference. You just do whatever you like. Yeah. So if you like this idea and you like to redo it yourself, basic tools you'll need were sort of explained at the front there, and where I got everything from, so I won't go over that again. And yeah, change the colours up if you don't like the colours, change the drills design to however you feel you like them. Saying that, as I said, I will go out the back and give this a bit of a seal, but at the moment it's raining, so I'm just going to just wait till I can go out and do that. And yeah, I'll just show you some footage once I get a chance for that to dry at the end of the video. If you like the video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, as so they say, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and thank you everyone for watching. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I upload next. Till then, be your life beautiful with diamond art. This is Del. This is just one of the leftover drill ideas I'm hoping to bring to the channel. I'll see you next time, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe, be well.